In this video, we're taking a look at Jimmy Tayman's awesome collection of crazy drag car projects, hot rods, and other cool stuff that's stashed away in a metal building in East Tennessee. Jimmy welcomed us into his shop and told us all about his different projects and told us that quite a few of them hadn't even made it here to Tennessee yet because he's relocating from Maryland to this big metal building here, and he doesn't have everything here yet. He's in the process of moving. But I wanted to show you guys this collection, and I'll be sure to come back when he starts moving some more cars in. But I just couldn't wait. I had to show you guys what was there because this is just like a hidden gem. I had no idea this was even here. So if the name Jimmy Tayman sounds familiar, it's probably because you've seen his Filthy 55 drag car. Now this is a Pro Mod style car. It's chop top. It's got like a fake patina paint job because this is a fiberglass body. This is a full-on race car. And this thing has been on the Street Outlaws TV show. This thing has been to a bunch of no-prep races. This is a pretty famous car. Unfortunately, it's not in the shop right now. I wish I could have taken a look at that to show it to you guys, but I'll be sure to come back and show you some more of this stuff later. But for now, we're taking a look at some of these projects. Some of them have kind of, I guess you could say, have been abandoned or neglected for quite a few years, but they're still really cool. They have tons of potential. We're going to walk through them here. So as soon as we walk in, we see this 41 Willys coupe, and this thing is a pretty radical Pro Street build. It's got huge tires up under the back. It's got a killer paint job, cool interior, and under the hood is a Ray Barton Hemi. I don't know the cubic inches on this thing, but it's gotta be big. And it looks healthy. I bet this thing beats the ground. Sitting next to it is a really slick, high-end 57 Chevrolet drag car. This thing is sitting right on the ground. It's got wheelie bars, it's got huge back tires, and he said it currently had a nitrous big block in it. Now, years ago, he said it had a screw supercharger on it. This thing has been through a lot of different versions through the years, but it is an awesome drag car that's pretty much ready to go. Sitting next to it is a Corvette project. This looks like a 65 or 66, judging by those 3 vertical gills on the front fender area. It's got a 67 style hood on it. And it's just kind of a mixed bag of different things. And it looks like they've actually repaired this car. It looks like maybe that it's had fender flares on it and that they've gone back and put regular wheel wells on it. Really neat looking project. I like the hard top on a convertible. That's a cool look. This will make a really cool looking project. Sitting over next to it is a 63 or 64 Corvette. Now this one also has a big block hood on it, but the hood is like a 65 or 6 big block hood. I don't know a whole lot of details on this particular car, but it's pretty slick. It looks like it would clean up nice. Then we've got another 41 Willys coupe. This is another Pro Street build, fiberglass body, really nice. Lots of good parts sitting here. This will make another really good project whenever he gets around to it. Now he's making good use of his shop by putting these lifts in here. He's really doubling up his space. And over here you see a 55 Chevrolet project car that's up on the lift, and below it is a 57 Chevrolet. Another Pro Street type build, could be sort of an entry-level drag car. It's got the narrowed rear end and the wheel tubs in the back. Looks like it's got a lot of potential and make a really fun street car out of it. Next on the double stack row is a first generation Camaro. This looks like a really cool street strip car. And then above it is a really low mileage Monte Carlo SS. He said this thing's got like 10,000 miles on it and it's pretty much perfect front to back. Another low mileage car is this Plymouth Prowler. Now you don't see these things on the road very much anymore, and you definitely don't see them that are preserved as nicely as this one. Underneath it is another first generation Camaro. This one is a little more racy. It's got big tires on the back. It's got a roll cage in it. This thing was actually Jimmy's son's car when he was in high school. So pretty neat piece. It's a piece of the family. This is a really special car to Jimmy. His son Sammy was actually killed in a motorcycle accident not that long ago, and it absolutely shook up the whole family and all the friends. The whole racing community was tore up over this, and it's got to be a hard time when you lose your son, especially in the case of your best friend. They were racing partners, they were in the shop together, they were absolutely inseparable. And to add to that, he actually just lost his wife a couple of months ago as well, so pretty hard times there for Jimmy. But we were glad to spend a little bit of time with him and bench race with him a little bit and hear some of his stories, because he's got stories like you wouldn't believe. Moving on with some other cars, we've got an AC Cobra. This is a pretty nicely built kit car. You can see it's got some pretty high-end wheels on it. It's got a small block Ford in there. These things, you know, for years they were a little bit cheap, but this one is a really nice one. Looks like somebody spent a lot of money building this one. Sitting next to that Cobra is a really neat 55 Chevrolet, and it's got sort of a street gasser look, but it's a really unique car, and I'm going to give you a few seconds to kind of think about it and try to figure out what exactly is unique about it. Okay, did you figure it out? This is actually a four-door car. Now, I've seen four doors that have been turned into two doors before, but they're not exactly like this one. This one actually retains the original four-door front door, which is a few inches shorter, so they ended up using a two-door quarter panel. They just scooted it forward a little bit, and it's just got this really unique look. The roof is a little bit shorter than it normally would be. It's one of those types of cars that really makes you scratch your head figuring out what did they do to this thing to make it look different. But then when you see it parked next to another 55 Chevrolet, you start doing the math on the doors and the roof length and all that kind of stuff. But I thought it was really cool. I love the flat black with the lettering. This thing has got a really good look to it, and it's got a pretty rowdy small block in it too. Over here on the transport trailer, he's got a few more projects that he hasn't even unloaded yet. And one of them's a pretty cool looking rat rod pickup truck. It's got some Coker Classic wide white wall radial tires on it and lots of cool patina and rust. Behind it is a 55 Chevrolet project. Looks like nobody's really started on that one. And then on this lower level is a really wild looking 41 Willys Pro Mod. You can see that that back end's kind of swelled out. It's got huge tires tucked up under the back of it. I'm really curious what he's going to do with this one. Here's another 55 Chevrolet. This is a pretty cool gasser project. You can see it's got a small block with a tunnel ram and two fours. It's got some rocket wheels on it, fiberglass flip front end. Got the wheel wells radiused out on the quarter panels. Really neat looking build. It's got the perfect gasser stance. This purple street rod sedan looks like a pretty recent project. I'm not sure what the plan is with this one, but I'm imagining he's probably going to get it out and drive this one. It looks pretty mild-mannered. Sitting next to it is a really wild project. I believe he said it was a 1993 Chevrolet pickup. He said he bought this truck brand new right off the dealership floor and drove it for quite a few years. But this thing is far beyond daily driver status. You can look in the bed here and see these bars and this suspension and the roll cage. This is a pretty high-end build. This is going to be a pretty wild project. And this is actually a project that his son was working on before he was killed. So this is something he's going to hang on to and just kind of chip away on and continue to make progress on it as he has time. Now here's a crazy one. This is a Boss Hoss big block Chevrolet, 502 cubic inches, 502 horsepower with a 57 Chevrolet back end. Pretty wild piece. Here's another one of Jimmy's drag cars. This is an old school hardtail rear engine dragster, and it's got a small block Chevrolet with mechanical Hilborn fuel injection on it. Another really cool piece. This one doesn't look like it's been raced in quite a while, but he said this thing had 17-to-1 compression and that it would absolutely pound the ground. Jimmy's most recent acquisition is this 34 Ford four-door sedan. He bought this thing up at the Pigeon Forge Rod Run, and it's a pretty cool hot rod. It's got a good stance, it's got 5-spoke wheels on it, and some pretty cool patina, and it looks like his pair of Huskies enjoy it just as much as he does.
Maggie May, Max the Wax is going bye-bye. Maggie May, you better come on if you're going bye-bye. Come on, he's in. Come on, get in. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, get in there, car. Get up in there, baby. Good girl. There we go. Let's go bye-bye. Y'all ready to go with your daddy? Huh? Let's get in here and go for a ride. That's what I'm talking about. All ready to go bye-bye? Huh? Ready to go bye-bye, Max? Tell him, Maggie. Tell him woo-woo. Tell him woo-woo. He looks just like he's driving. I'm going to tell you what, people see him sitting out at a store or somewhere and I go in, they come out, they got cameras, they go, oh, they're this beautiful dog. Look, they look like they just drove here from downtown.
They steal the show wherever they go.
I swear they did.
Sitting outside of the shop, there's a few more projects. There's a four-door Impala that looks like you could just hit the road in this thing. And then there's an extended cab pickup truck. Now these things are known for not having quite enough leg room, but this one is really set up nice. You can get in there and have all the room you need. And you can see that it's got, you know, some late model suspension, probably got a small block Chevy in it. This thing probably drives real good. Last but not least is this really wild rat rod pickup truck. This thing is built off of a heavy duty truck. You can see those huge tires on the back. And then when we get around to the front, this thing has got a killer diesel in it with a compound turbo setup. This thing probably makes huge horsepower and torque. And I'd say that it'll light those big tires up whenever that boost comes in. So that'll do it for the Jimmy Tayman collection for now. We definitely want to come back and see as he continues to drag more cars down from Maryland. And we definitely want to come back and see that Filthy 55 because that is an absolutely awesome drag car. So we're looking forward to seeing more of his collection. We'll definitely bring it to you here just as soon as we can. Thank you for watching.